How you're doing? Pleasure for tuning in. If you click to this video, you made the right choice. It means there are two things involved. Either you have never heard of SMT or you are trading SMT the wrong way. So I'm going to start by telling you guys the meaning of SMT. SMT is basically disagreement in price action between two correlating pairs. The correlating there means pairs that move basically the same way, like Euro USD and pounds USD, and also Nasdaq and SPS. So I'm going to use drawing now to explain to you guys the meaning of SMT. So we can have a bearish SMT and also a bullish SMT. So let me draw this for you now. So this 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 this. So we ended up sweeping these highs, and I'm going to label this as ES, that is SPS 500. Then now I'm going to draw another one again, label it as Nasdaq. Mhm. Label it as Nasdaq. So Nasdaq. So this basically means that on one of the correlating pair, we sweep this high. On the other correlating pair, there is a high chance that price might not end up sweeping that high we sweep. Instead, price will just go to the opposite direction. So like that is what happened here. We swept this high here, but we didn't sweep this high here, and price went to the opposite direction. So this is a bearish SMT. Now let me draw a bullish SMT for you guys. So we have something like this, and something like this. Um, so ended up sweeping this low, and we didn't sweep this low here. So as price swept this low, let me call this one again ES. So as price swept this low on ES, no need of price sweeping this low on Nasdaq. And what happened? Price now moved to the opposite direction. Just simple. So now that I've explained it to you guys, I'm going to show you guys the way I implement it in my trading. So for me, there are two scenarios in which I make use of SMT. So I'm going to give you guys another drawing again. So let's say price end up coming up, sweeping a significant high. So I'm going to call this Nasdaq. Let's call this ES. Let's call this Nasdaq. SPS 500. So this is the first scenario I'm going to explain to you guys. Let's say price end up coming up sweeping a high time frame SMT after market open. So my high time frame SMT are 5 minutes, sorry, 50 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, and 4 hour. 50 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, and 4 hour. So this is my high time frame. These are my high time frame. So let's say price ended up coming up sweeping this high and not sweeping this high at market open. Let's say this is 9:30. Let's say 9:30 was here. So I'm marking this vertical line as 9:30. So let's say we see this now in the market, like as price as the market open, this happens immediately. I'm scaling down to 1 minute time frame to look for entry. That is it. So if I see this form on high time frame, I scale to 1 minute to look for entry. Now the second scenario is now, let's say price ended up sweeping like sweeping the highs on both pairs. Let's say we ended up sweeping the highs on both pairs. Okay. Let's say we ended up sweeping the highs on both pairs. As I say, I'm going to mark out 9:30. This vertical line, I'm assuming it as 9:30. So let's say we ended up sweeping this this high on both pairs. So on a higher time frame, which is on a which is 15, 30, 1 hour, and 4 hour, because those are my higher time frame. So we swept the highs on both pairs on the higher time frame. What I will do now is that I'm going to scale to a lower time frame, which 5 minutes is my lower time frame, which I use to check if there is a lower time frame SMT. So let's say we scale to a lower time frame SMT and we eventually have this, and we eventually have this. Immediately, I will scale to 1 minute time frame to look for SM3. Sorry, to look for entry. So I'm going to recap myself. So this is my first scenario. If we sweep a high time frame high, which is a 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, and 4 hour, sorry, or for 4 hour, we sweep a high on one of the correlating pair and we don't sweep it on the other pair. Immediately I'm scaling to 1 minute time frame looking for entry. Now the second scenario is if we ended up sweeping the highs on both pairs, I scale to 5 minutes time frame looking for SMT, and if I see it, scale to 1 minute time frame and I enter immediately. Mind you, my SMT is at my market open or after market open. I told you guys that I mark this line as 9:30. So let me show you guys an example in chat. Also, before I start, I want to tell you guys that even with this, you can still end up losing. Like I don't want, like after I've explained and told you guys everything and you will lose, and you might not be like I'm telling you nonsense. There is nothing that is 100% correct in trading. So just put that at the back of your mind. So let's start. Let me Today, which is Friday, let me show you guys a trade now. So I'm going to mark 9:30. So I'm going to mark 9:30. This is Nasdaq. Oh, and now I'm now going to mark the 9:30 on SPS 9:30, which is market open. So as you can see on 30 minutes time frame, which I take as high time frame, he ended up sweeping this high here. He also swept this high here on SPS. You can check the time. This is 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Now we swept the highs on both pairs. Now I will scale to 5 minute time frame to look for an end to look for to check if I'm going to see an SMT. Now instead of forming SMT with this, then I scale to 1 minute time frame. I look for my entry. So this is it. So now this one I'm showing you now is the second scenario which I explained for you guys. We sweep the same highs on a higher time frame. I scale to 5 minutes time frame. We form a bearish SMT and I enter. Simple and short. So now in this same trade now we formed a bullish SMT which you could also lose. So now I'm going to still show you guys. So now on 30-minute time frame, before this dump, we ended up sweeping this low on Nasdaq and we didn't sweep it on SPS. This is it. This is it. So if you took this one, you would have lost. It does not mean that it's wrong, but it means that sometimes you can still lose. Oh, like you won't have lost any shit, man. Hmm, you could still take an entry and just target this high. So now in this first example now I've showed you scenario one and scenario two. This one now is scenario two in which we swept a 30 minute low and we didn't sweep it on the correlating pair. Scale to 1 minute time frame, look for SMT. And the first one is that we swept the same highs here. We go to 5 minute time frame. We had a bearish SMT with this and this, and this and this, and you take your SMT, this and this, and you take your trade. So in this example, I've showed you the first scenario and the second scenario. So let's go to the day before, which is Thursday, to see if I'm going to see any shit. So I'm going to go to Thursday. No, not Thursday. I know I didn't trade on Thursday, so Wednesday. I took trade on Wednesday. It's Wednesday. 9:30. This is 9:30. So on 30-minute time frame, no, it was 50-minute time frame. Wednesday, yup, yup, this. So on 15 minutes time frame, we ended up sweeping this high. This is 7:45, 7:45, 8 o'clock, the same thing. We didn't sweep this high. We ended up forming a bearish SMT. This is scenario one. I told you that 15 minutes is also seen as my high time frame SMT. This is scenario one. With this, you can just scale to 1 minute time frame and you look for your entry. Where is that guy? So very simple. Break of structure, fair value gap. You take your trade and just aim for lows like bro, like this is so sweet, man. So just add SMT to your trading. So with all being said, if you love this video, you know what to do, like and subscribe. I'm going to be dropping a video again explaining to you guys how to trade fair value gap the right way. So let's expect that soon. So I love and appreciate you guys. Peace.